Hey there, so I'm here at the beauty experts, sorry. I'm gonna try at a tutorial for window painting. Everything I learned was from Scot Campbell from Window Splashes over at YouTube. You can check him out. I literally followed everything that he goes through his tutorials, wrote it down, bought all the supplies and his ebooks, and it's been really good. So thanks, Scott. Alright, so here we go. And yeah, I look like crap because I'm not gonna dress up to go paint windows and get paint all over myself, so I don't care. No apologies. So I just finished cleaning the windows with a squeegee. It's filled with water and a couple drops only of dish detergent. I give it a good clean, I squeegee it down, and then I'm waiting for it to dry. And here we are on the inside. There's no need to clean the windows on the inside unless they're super dirty, and because my goal here is to this is my template I made at home. This is a facility that does eyelashes and beauty stuff for women. So we got Brow Masters, Lash Slayer, and Skin Fairy, which is going to be super cool. It's going to be all one color. So I made this template at home. I made it using butcher paper and sketching it out with pencil, and then going over it with marker. So I'm going to now get on my nifty little stepladder there and put it up on the window so I can see it on the other side. So here it is on the other side of the window, the inner portion. I'm not sure that Scot Campbell really goes over this and then use his books. I don't recall him ever coming up with this, but if he did, I'm sorry if I'm not giving him credit. But the credit to this technique is what I've seen with the old sign painters. They use a template from the inside and then paint from the outside. So we're gonna go check it out from the outside now. So here we are on the outside. It's really hard to tell through camera from the glare and stuff, but I need to center it more. So I'm just gonna bring this all a little bit this way, maybe about 6 inches or so. And this part, what you're doing is just seeing if it's centered and positioned where you would like it. All right, so after a few adjustments, it wasn't just uncentered. I found it kind of crooked a little bit, so I'm happy with it now, and I'm gonna get started. The reason why I squeegeed the outside first before going to the inside to adjust is to give it time to dry, and it's dry now, so now I can get dirty. So these are my supplies that I'm starting with. I have little supplies because it's just one color and it's a fairly simple job, but not really. And the type of paint that I'm using for the outside windows is indoor latex paint. It's very durable on windows, and compared to all the other type of paints that I've been seeing out there that other sign painters are using, they're for like more long-term use, like when they use acrylics or enamel paints. That kind of scares me a little bit, because when the customer wants to have these removed, which happens a lot, it's not going to be easy. And I've had some friends that have used some of the more mainstream type of newer paints and they didn't like it. So I'm just going to stick to what I know. So the indoor latex paints in Scot Campbell's ebooks has worked really well. And if you make mistakes, it's so easy to scrape off. Like, you know, nobody's perfect. So that's what I'm using for paint. For brushes, I'll flip my camera here around. I forgot my table, but no big deal. I'm using, I think these are 1/2 inch sponges, the big one just in case. And I have my assortment of brushes. Again, Scot Campbell in his ebooks suggests what type of brushes to use. I have some MAC brushes and literally some brushes from from Michael's and hobby stores, and they've worked very well. scraper. It's been used a lot with blades. Here's my paint. I just, instead of working out of the bucket, I pour it into a smaller container that I can use. I'm going to be stepping up and down on my ladder, so that's easier to work with. Hold it in one hand while painting with the other. And my reference picture, this is what I actually drew out for her. The template that I used for the window, it's just like a temporary thing just for placement. I mean, I wasn't gonna go crazy with detail on there because it's gonna be something quick. So there's really no use to spend hours making a template. I spent all my time on my digital art that I showed the customer, just kind of like what's gonna look like. It looks a little bit better. So we're gonna get started. So here is the first layer, and then I'm also adding those little dots there, moving right along, good timing. Going to start hitting the spots that are super dry, which I know I started here, and some of the eyes and some of these letters up here, and start putting on the second layer. So here is the first layer, and then I'm also adding those little dots there, moving right along, good timing. Going to start hitting the spots that are super dry, which I know I started here, and some of the eyes and some of these letters up here, and start putting on the second layer. So the thing about latex paint, it's not going to be perfect on your first pass. I mean, it could be, but honestly, when people see this, yeah, they are going to see it pretty up close when they walk to the front door, but this is also by a road. It's a very busy road, and even people just passing through this plaza, because it's a plaza, they're going to see it really quick. And when you really look up close on window painters' artwork, it's not perfect, and it's not going to be perfect. You can try, and it's nice, but I mean, do you really want to spend 5-6 hours painting something simple like this? So you try hard, you make it look nice, but don't be hard on yourself. I was hard on myself in the beginning, but then I really looked up close at some of the window painters that I follow that use latex paint for their artwork, and it's not perfect. So I'm like, okay, well, theirs ain't perfect, so I should let myself go a little bit. But that's it. Just wanted to hop on here real quick and do my hair. No, just kidding. Part of the job description, window painting, is eating in your car. Right now I'm in Florida and it's 77, which is not bad. I mean, there's an overcast. That helps a whole lot. I mean, if it was raining, it would be kind of hard. Oh my god, it looks so bad. If it was raining, it would be really hard because the moisture from the rain, I mean, if you're covered, if your artwork is covered by an awning or something like that, I guess it makes it a little bit easier, but the humidity, it just, I've done it before and it sucks. So yeah, I've been doing this for a while. I mean, maybe like 2015, something like that. It hasn't been a constant thing. I have been pursuing it. There was a point in my life that I wanted this to be my full-time job, because it's fun. I'm an artist. I love to freaking paint. I love to socialize. I love to make friends, and this, people stop when you're painting, and they stop by and they talk to you and they tell you what a good job you're doing, and you have your business cards and stuff like that. So yeah, I wanted to do this for a while, and this is why I think it didn't work. I mean, divorce under the belt too while all this was happening. I live in a small town. I mean, it's small-ish, okay? I live in the panhandle of Florida, and it's by Destin, Florida. This is a vacation area, vacation town, and there's lots of military families here. We don't have a Target. We have Walmarts, yeah, but we don't have like a lot of the amenities that the bigger cities have. So, you know, there's a lot of businesses, or like I'm looking around now, there's some businesses that are closed, you know, and things are tough here. And one of the reasons why we want to move. But, you know, as far as some of the other window painters that I follow and I see, you know, they thrive on this because, also because they're good. Obviously, they're awesome. I'm not saying that I'm not good, but it's just not an ideal situation for me in this town, where I'm really successful at this. So, I mean, I've done Chick-fil-A's, I've done McDonald's, I've done, my friend's business, you know, and their windows and stuff like that. So, you know, I still do it because I love it, and I used to be a face painter too. I don't do that anymore, because I feel like it's not worth it for me. I don't know, it's just like a whole lot of stuff. So it's just, I'm not very successful in this town doing it. I do other things. I'm a freelance graphic designer and pinstriper and all sorts of other stuff. So I do lots of things, and I have things under my belt that helps me. But doing this in a bigger city, if you're looking into it, I think, you know, will be something for you. So I'm gonna go eat my lunch and then I'll get back to that. But I just want to let you know. Okay, bye. So I'm at that point that I feel like I should take this down. It'll be a little bit easier, I guess, to see in the background if I needed to. But I also like to clean up as I go. So when I'm done here, you know, I just literally pack up and leave, even though for this job I really didn't have a whole lot of supplies. So here we are. I'm kind of finishing up. I'm putting on those dots, and then I'm gonna go with my razor blade and sharpen up some of the letters. But for the most part, it's looking pretty good. Now that I step back, I've been super close by. But I'm gonna show you guys how I'm doing the dots, which is super fun. This is your tool for dots. So let me wipe it clean real quick. See? Literally dip it in the paint and just dotting with my finger. Again, this was a Scot Campbell tip that I learned, and what he uses it for is for like the highlights in the eyes of his caricatures. But, you know, why not use it on something else that looks pretty cool? You know, I mean, you could see my fingerprints on there, but, you know, step back, you know, it gives it effect, and it kind of, really what that does is just tying everything together. So, yeah, that's where we're at right now, making dots. All right, I am done. Brow Master, Lash Layer, Skin Fairy, Body Waxing. I mean, how straightforward. This has been fun. Time to go home. And I'm not going to clean up because I got to paint some more somewhere else. The sun came out finally. Kind of grateful that it didn't show up, but I'm done. You like it? This was fun. Time to go home.